As designers, oftentimes we can't wait for something new to appear on the market so that we can purchase it. But question is, do we really need it, or is it something that we actually want? So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about nice to haves versus want to haves. Nice to haves are those good things which are nice to have, obviously, but they are not necessary in running your business. So for example, having 3 5K monitors is extremely nice thing to have, but it's probably not going to be vital for your business to have those monitors. So that's an expense which is nice to have, but it's not needed to have. And that's the point of this video. I'm just going to come across and say you don't need all of that expensive equipment, especially when you're getting started. Usually designers get confused and ask me, do I need that graphic tablet? Do I need 3 monitors? Do I need a 5K iMac? Do I need all of this expensive equipment? And the answer is no. You don't need any of that stuff to get started. All you need is your computer that you already perhaps have. Maybe you need to upgrade it just a little bit in order to have enough RAM memory, especially if you're using something like Photoshop or those RAM heavy softwares that you usually see on the market. But apart from that, perhaps you don't need anything else, especially to get started. Once you get started, once you earn enough money, you can then upgrade to a bigger and better equipment. You can buy bigger and better monitors, which are high quality with high pixel density inside of them, but it's not really necessary, especially when you're getting started. Usually you see on these ads or on videos online, all of these fancy designers in these fancy offices sitting behind 5K iMacs, for example, and you immediately think, oh, I need one of them, but it's really nice to have in this industry and not really want to have. Professionals really have to have that equipment, especially if they're running on a tight deadlines, because the last thing you want when you're on a tight deadline is a slow computer. But when you're getting started, when you're working as a freelancer, when you're dealing with your own expenses day to day, you don't really need stuff like that, because any equipment that you have can fulfill that need and finish that project. Because at the end of the day, it's really up to you as a designer, because you are the one who is using that equipment. And I especially like a quote that I saw recently online, which says it's not about the tool, it's about the photographer. So it's the photographer who is making the image look nice, and it's really that image which is enticing you to look at it and to really think about it, to understand it. That's the main point behind this argument. It's really about you, the designer, and it's not about the equipment you are using. Think about it this way. If you want to buy a car, there are really 2 ways. You can buy a cheap or nice car, or you can really buy an expensive and luxury or sports car. Which do you really need? You need this one, which is cheaper and it's going to get you from place A to place B. But this one is a nice to have, so you can really purchase it if you have that money, because it's nice to have it. It's going to fulfill, for example, passion you might have about cars, and it's the same thing in design. Perhaps you have a passion for drawing and you want to purchase that Wacom tablet, for example, which costs, let's say, $3,000 or $4,000, something like that. But if it's not necessary for your business, if it doesn't finish what you want to do as a designer, then it's an unnecessary cost. So think about that. Nice to haves versus want to haves. So want to haves is something that you actually need. You need a computer, you need a monitor, and I really recommend a desktop computer. Even though laptops are fantastic tools to have, if you can afford it, make sure to use a desktop computer, because usually they are a lot easier to sit behind, because you can get as far away as you want from it, and it's going to be better for your back, it's going to be better for your eyes, because it's not going to cause so much strain as this small screen that you're looking at and a laptop. So just make sure to use the equipment which is comfortable to you, both to using and both in terms of money, so that you can really afford it and that you can use it on a day-to-day basis. And then once your business gets growing, once it's get going, then you can upgrade it to better equipment, and then you can really think about these nice to have things. One final thing I want to mention is software, because it's the main part of what we do. Every designer out there uses some kind of software. So just make sure to use the software which is right for you and for your business. Don't just go out there and buy all of these random softwares and then never use them, because that's just a waste of money. If you really want to focus and really want to use one software which is going to benefit your business the most, then simply do the research, and then once you did, make sure to understand that that software is going to be good for you and a good fit for you in the next year or 2 or 3, because you're investing your time and your mental resources to learn that software. So you're going to dedicate your career in the next year, 2 or 3 to this particular software. So just make sure to test before you buy, to understand that you're going to use that software professionally for your business and that you're comfortable with it and with the features it has. You will have to purchase some software. For example, in some cases you have to export some files and the software you're using perhaps is not that good. Oftentimes file sharing, oftentimes, for example, user research or something like that, you have to purchase that software, but just make sure to understand that the main software you're using is the main software you're using. You're not just skipping between all of these different softwares when you're just getting started. When you're on your way, when you have a nice career behind you, then it's perfectly fine to purchase all of these different softwares. But once again, make sure to understand it's going to affect your business if you spend recklessly. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you found some value in it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. I upload new videos every single week on design, passive income techniques, motivation, and more. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.